I was a prisoner for 8 months. I escaped 3 times. They caught me twice. The third time, I made it. People want to hear about the escape, the tunnels, the wire, the run through the German countryside. That's the exciting part, right? The adventure. But that's not what haunts me. What haunts me is what happened in that camp, what we became, what they made us become. My name is Jack Sullivan from Boston, Massachusetts. I was a private with the 26th Infantry Division, the Yankee Division, they called us. We shipped to France in September 1917, went into the line near Seicheprey in April 1918. That's where they got me. I was 22 years old, thought I was tough. South Boston kid, worked the docks since I was 14, could handle myself in a fight. The Army loved guys like me, strong backs, thick heads, too stupid to know when we were beat. Turns out I wasn't as tough as I thought. The Germans hit our position at dawn on April 20th. Artillery barrage first, then stormtroopers. They came fast, professional, knew exactly what they were doing. We fought for maybe 2 hours before our position was overrun. My rifle jammed. German soldier came around a crevice, pointed his rifle at my chest. I put my hands up. Just like that, I was done fighting. They marched us back behind their lines, about 40 of us who'd been captured. Some were wounded, bleeding, could barely walk. The Germans didn't care. Keep up or get shot. Simple as that. One boy from Iowa took shrapnel to both legs. He couldn't keep pace. German guard shot him in the head, left him in the road. We kept marching. That's when I learned the first rule of being a prisoner. You're not a soldier anymore. You're property, cargo. You exist at their convenience, and they'll dispose of you if you become inconvenient. They put us on a train. Cattle cars, packed in tight, no room to sit. 3 days like that. No food except some black bread and water once a day. Men relieved themselves where they stood. The smell, you can't imagine. Or maybe you can. Maybe hell always smells the same. We arrived at Rastatt, a prisoner camp in Baden. That's where I'd spend the next 8 months. That's where I'd learn what it means to survive. Rastatt held about 3,000 prisoners. British mostly, some French, a few hundred Americans by the time I got there. The camp was surrounded by 2 fences, barbed wire, 12 feet high, with a warning wire 5 feet inside the perimeter. Cross the warning wire and the guards would shoot. No warnings, just shoot. They processed us first day, stripped us, searched us, took anything valuable. Registration, photograph, prisoner number. Mine was 47,283. That's who I was now, not Jack Sullivan, just a number. They assigned me to Barracks 7, long wooden building, no insulation, bunks stacked 3 high. 150 men crammed into a space meant for 80. The bunks had straw mattresses, crawling with lice. You couldn't avoid them. Within a week, everyone was infested. The hunger started immediately. They fed us twice a day. Morning was ersatz coffee, made from acorns or burnt grain, tasted like dirt, and a piece of black bread, maybe 4 ounces. Evening was soup, thin, watery soup with occasional bits of turnip or potato. Maybe some horse meat if we were lucky. That was it. Maybe 800 calories a day, if that. We were worked 10 hours a day in labor details. You do the math. I watched men waste away. Healthy guys, when they came in, reduced to skeletons in a few months. Your body eats itself when you're starving. Muscles first, then organs. Your teeth get loose. Your hair falls out. Wounds don't heal. You get sick easy, stay sick long. But it wasn't the hunger that broke most men. It was the boredom, the endless, crushing monotony. Same routine every day. Roll call at dawn, work detail, back to barracks. Roll call at dusk, sleep, repeat. Day after day after day. No news, no mail, no idea if anyone knew you were alive or if they cared. Some men just gave up, stopped eating, stopped talking, stopped caring. They'd lie in their bunks and fade away. We called it barbed wire disease. Loss of will to live happened to at least one man a week. And I made a decision that first month. I wasn't going to die there. I was going to escape, going to get home, whatever it took. I met Charlie Braddock in the work detail. Canadian, captured at Passchendaele. Tough guy, logger from British Columbia before the war. He'd been in Rastatt for 6 months, already tried escaping once, got caught within 20 miles. "You thinking about running?" he asked me one day while we were hauling rocks for a road repair. "Every damn day," I said. "Me too. I'm going again. You want in?" 3 of us planned it. Me, Charlie, and a British corporal named Davies. We were on a work detail outside the camp, repairing railroad tracks about 5 miles away. Guards were lazy, overconfident. They figured we were too weak to run, too scared to try, and they were wrong. We waited for rain. Came in late June, a heavy downpour. Visibility dropped to maybe 50 yards. Charlie gave the signal. We just walked away. Casual. Like we were going to relieve ourselves. Once we were out of sight, we ran. We'd stolen civilian clothes bit by bit, a jacket here, a cap there, changed in the woods, buried our uniforms. The plan was to head west, toward France, about 100 miles away. Travel at night, hide during the day, live off the land. We made it 3 days. The German countryside was beautiful, I'll give them that. Rolling hills, thick forests, quiet villages. Under different circumstances, might have been a nice vacation. But we were hunted men. Every farmer, every villager, every policeman was looking for escaped prisoners. Rewards were posted. People turned you in for extra rations. A farmer spotted us sleeping in his barn, called the local police. They came with dogs. We tried to run, but we were weak, starved, exhausted. The dogs caught Davies first, then Charlie. I made it maybe another 100 yards before I collapsed. They beat us, not brutally, just methodically, to make a point. Then they threw us in a cell for 3 days. No food, no water, just darkness and pain. When they sent us back to Rastatt, the camp commandant gave us 14 days in isolation. Solitary confinement in cells too small to lie down in. You could sit or stand, but not both. No light, no human contact. Bread and water once every 3 days. I went a little mad in there, started talking to myself, seeing things in the darkness. Time stopped meaning anything. Could have been days or weeks. I lost track. When they let me out, I'd lost 15 pounds I couldn't afford to lose. Could barely walk. Charlie said I looked like a corpse. "Worth it, though," he said. "At least we tried." Summer turned to fall. The camp got colder. They didn't give us proper winter clothes, just threadbare blankets that didn't help. Men started dying from pneumonia, dysentery, typhus. The latrine was a pit in the ground, overflowing. Disease spread fast in those conditions. The guards got meaner as Germany started losing the war. We could tell from their attitudes, from the way they talked when they thought we couldn't understand German. The spring offensives had failed. The Americans were coming in force. The tide was turning. That made them dangerous. Desperate men do desperate things. They cut our rations. We were down to maybe 500 calories a day. Men were eating grass, eating bark, eating anything to fill their stomachs. The Red Cross packages that were supposed to come weekly, they came once a month, if that. And the Germans took half the contents before they gave them to us. I watched a man named Peterson trade his wedding ring for a potato. Watched another man, Morrison, trade his boots for a can of sardines. When you're starving, you'll trade anything. Your dignity, your memories, your future. All of it for one more day of not being quite as hungry. The work details got harder. They were using us as slave labor now, not even pretending otherwise. Building roads, digging trenches, hauling supplies. 10, 12 hours a day on starvation rations. Men collapsed in the fields. Some died there. The guards would just leave them until the workday ended. Charlie started planning another escape. I told him I was in. So did Davies, despite what happened last time. What else were we going to do? Wait to die? This time we'd be smarter. We'd steal more food first, build up our strength, study the guards' routines, find a better route. But before we could try, they transferred Charlie to another camp, labor camp near Munich. I never saw him again. Heard later he died there in October. Typhus. Davies tried to escape on his own. Got shot climbing the fence. Bled out in the warning zone while we watched from the barracks. Guards wouldn't let us retrieve his body for 2 days. Left him there as a warning. That's when I understood. They wanted us to try. Wanted us to escape so they could shoot us. Easier than feeding us. Cleaner than letting us die slow from disease and starvation. But I didn't care. I'd rather die trying than die waiting. November 1918. We could feel something changing. The guards were nervous, distracted. Rumors flew through the camp. Revolution in Germany, mutinies in the fleet, the Kaiser abdicating. We didn't know what was true, but we knew the war was ending. That's when I made my move. I'd been planning it for weeks, solo this time. No partners to worry about, no one else to get caught. There was a work detail that went to the town dump every day, hauling camp garbage. 5 prisoners, 2 guards. The guards hated dump duty. The smell, the filth. They'd stand upwind and smoke, not paying close attention. I volunteered for dump duty. Went for 3 days straight to establish a pattern. On the 4th day, I made my move. We were unloading garbage when I spotted my chance. Both guards were on the far side of the truck, arguing about something. I just walked away, into the tree line, kept walking. Waited for the shout, the gunshot. Nothing came. I walked for 10 minutes before I started running. I had civilian clothes hidden in my shirt, stolen over weeks, piece by piece. I had a piece of bread I'd saved. I had a general idea which way was west. That was it. That was my entire plan. I walked for 6 days, slept in barns, in ditches, under bridges. Avoided roads, avoided people, avoided everything. I ate raw turnips from fields, drank from streams. My feet were bleeding, blistered through my boots. I was delirious from hunger and exhaustion. On the 6th day, I saw them, American soldiers, a patrol near the Rhine. I stumbled toward them, tried to shout, couldn't make my voice work. One of them raised his rifle, thought I was German. I managed to croak out, "American." Prisoner, escaped. They caught me when I collapsed. They took me to a field hospital. I weighed 93 pounds. I'd lost 70 pounds in 8 months. The doctors said another week and I would have died. Organ failure, starvation. My body was eating itself. The war ended while I was in that hospital, November 11th. Everyone was celebrating, crying, singing. I just lay there, couldn't feel anything, couldn't process it. It was over, just like that, all those months, all that suffering. Davies dead on the wire, Charlie dead in Munich, hundreds of men dead in that camp, and it was just over. They shipped me home in December. My mother screamed when she saw me. Didn't recognize me at first. I was skeletal, gray, looked 20 years older. My father cried. First time I'd ever seen him cry. They said I was a hero, said escaping was brave, that I'd done my duty. They didn't understand. It wasn't bravery, it was survival, animal survival. I would have done anything to get out of that camp. Anything. The nightmares came after, every night. I'm back in Rastatt, back in the barracks, the hunger gnawing at my stomach, the cold seeping into my bones, the faces of dead men staring at me, Davies on the wire, Charlie coughing blood, all of them asking me why I survived when they didn't. I don't have an answer. I survived because I got lucky, because I chose the right day to escape, because the guards weren't paying attention, because American soldiers found me before I died in a ditch. That's not heroism, that's chance. I tried to go back to normal, got my old job at the docks. Lasted 2 weeks. Couldn't handle being confined, being told what to do, being around crowds. I'd panic, start sweating, have to leave. I can't eat in restaurants, can't stand seeing people waste food. I watch someone leave food on their plate, and I want to scream at them. Do they know what hunger is? Real hunger? The kind that makes you eat grass and bark? The kind that makes you dream about food every night? I keep food hidden around my apartment. Cans, bread, dried goods, stashed in drawers, under the bed, in closets. My mother found my hiding spots once, tried to talk to me about it. I couldn't explain it. Need to know I have food. Need to know I won't starve. I can't sleep in beds. Sleep on the floor mostly. Beds feel too comfortable, too soft. My body doesn't trust comfort, expects it to be taken away. The worst is the guilt. I escaped. I lived. Charlie didn't. Davies didn't. Hundreds of others didn't. Why me? What made me special? Nothing. I just got lucky. And now I'm here and they're not. And I can't justify it. Can't explain it. Can't make peace with it. People want to hear about the escape, about the adventure, about outsmarting the Germans, about the clever plan, about the dramatic dash to freedom. They want a story with a hero. But there were no heroes in Rastatt, just men trying to survive. Men reduced to animals, fighting over scraps, watching each other die, becoming something less than human because that's what it took to live. I escaped, yes. Made it home, yes. Survived, yes. But I'm still in that camp, still hungry, still cold, still watching Davies die on the wire, still counting the days until I can escape again. Except there's nowhere left to escape to. The war ended. I'm home. I'm free. But I'm still a prisoner. The Germans kept my body for 8 months. That was bad enough. But the camp kept my mind, kept my soul. And those I've never gotten back. They gave me a medal for escaping. Bronze Star, they called it. It's in a drawer somewhere. Don't look at it. Don't like what it represents. Doesn't represent bravery or heroism. It represents 8 months of hell that never really ended. 8 months that turned me into something I don't recognize. 8 months that killed the person I used to be and left this haunted thing in his place. I escaped the camp, but the camp never escaped me. 47 years later, and I'm still there. Still prisoner 47,283. Still trying to escape. Still failing.